Welcome to Paranomina. A lot of buzz has been circulating this week about a potential crash of an unidentified flying object having crashed in an island just north of Antarctica known as South Georgia. Folks, nothing would please us more than to actually and finally obtain evidence of a smoking gun and finally have confirmation that aliens do exist and that an alien craft somehow crashed on an ice-ridden island and left a trail of approximately 3/4 of a mile as evidence. However, after doing quite an extensive amount of research, it has been determined that this so-called cigar-shaped craft is really nothing more than a 36-foot wide slab of ice and rock that broke off a mountain and slid to the valley below, traveling approximately 3/4 of a mile on a steep downhill grade until it finally stopped in the valley below. I know that many watching this video might say that we're just a disinformation unit, but to the contrary, have dedicated ourselves to the search for the truth. The truth is out there, we just have to find it. Watch the following video of how someone else came to the wrong conclusion on an airplane crash that was later proven just to be a natural occurrence of the ice.
To me, it looks like something landed there extremely quickly and skidded to a halt. Maybe something had crashed here.
The crash theory gains traction when investigators discover the image is taken close to the site of one of the world's most catastrophic aviation accidents.
So when you think about something crashing in that part of the world, you think about the worst air disaster in New Zealand history.
At 7:21 a.m. on November 28, 1979. Air New Zealand Flight 901 takes off from Auckland Airport on a sightseeing tour of Antarctica. The crew report clear weather and good visibility. But as the plane nears Mount Erebus, a strange and terrifying optical illusion known as a whiteout deceives the two pilots.
It's not a storm. It's simply a situation where there's white everywhere. White glacier beneath, white clouds above, and there's no way to tell what's up, what's down, and what's in front of you.
At 12:49 p.m., the plane plows into the ice, killing all 257 passengers and crew.
Bam! They just smashed into the side of Mount Erebus, traveling hundreds of miles per hour.
For the pilots, it must have been horrifying, those last few seconds, realizing that out of nowhere, a mountainside was looming in the cockpit window.
Analyst Mark D'Antonio studies the image to see if it could be a remnant of the plane's long debris trail. He discovers something isn't right.
When you first look at this, it looks as if somebody was scraping along in the ice and making this gigantic furrow. But if we look at this object over here, this little spire of rock, you see the shadow, which way it's going? Well, there we see the shadow as well. This is an elevated feature. This is an elevated feature too.
The shadow indicates it is not a depression in the ice, but something rising above it. NASA scientist Dr. Kelly Brunt travels to the remote feature. She finds a 7-mile-long wall of jagged ice protruding from the frozen seas of McMurdo Sound.
Just like an ice cube in a glass, about 10% of the ice is above the surface and the other 90% is below the surface.
The massive ice wall is a rare type of glacier called an ice tongue, created by millions of tons of ice flowing from the base of Mount Erebus into the frozen seas.